Lonnie Donegan happened. Oh, the rock of the 90s, the 90s, the rock of the... Typically music industry, conflagration, massive surge of this new, exciting music with guitars or banjos, whatever you wanted to call them, they were guitars. I had a music shop then, and a record shop. In a week, I'd finished selling accordions, which is my instrument I deal with, and trumpets and things, and I wanted to sell guitars because they were queuing up the door for guitars. The amplifier guitar, made instantly famous by Django Reinhardt, was adopted as because of the cutaway. You could get a few more notes on your left hand, and the situation was such that I got on an aeroplane, propeller aeroplane by the way, at London Airport, and went to Germany and found a German guitar banjo wholesaler with stock of cheap flat guitars, obviously use them in Germany for learners. And I bought them all. I bought his warehouse. I will remember the occasion because his name was Voss, Müller Voss, in Dortmund. And he was, is it all right to get a bit political? He was a proper old German war man. He probably had an Iron Cross, and he was a pilot of a bomber. And I was a seaman. I was on the receiving end of the likes of him. So he was treading on dodgy ground when he said, you should have lost the war, you should have lost the war, we had. I said, here, hang on. And I had a bit of a ding-dong with him. Anyway, when he saw his order going through the front door, because I'll go red round my neck, you know, when I get upset, which isn't very often, but I mean, I can't handle that. And then we called it a deal because he was going to lose, I was going to lose, and all we were going to get was our opinions in somebody else's memory. I brought them back, and I had my new shop was in Balham, and I hang them up like joints of meat in a butcher's warehouse, all along the ceiling. The power of the skiffle was such that they would come from Glasgow to Balham to buy a £7 cost guitar of me and take it back up there. And they bring the whole skiffle group down and do everything and in my shop. And I thought, well, this is the way to go. And I was obviously right, because in about the time it took me to get to Germany, have a ding-dong with the German bomber pilot, which he lost, come back, having dinner, in about the same time, I sold the bloody lot. They'd all gone. Hundreds and literally thousands of guys, young guys, picked up guitar, didn't want to call it a banjo, I didn't go for any of that stuff, played it as a guitar. And they found, beside the skiffle, they used to have this thing called a 3-chord trick, which would be the tonic chord, the dominant chord and the subtonic. It's all you needed. You could do any song you wanted on that, even though it varied a little bit, but you could do it. And you could do all those lovely things, and then they found they could do a little riff like the King Django could do, and a lot of them, like Townsend, for instance, and Alvin Lee, found that they could get a sound, but you could never hear them. I decided that the next step would be to make an amplifier. I made an amplifier called a Watkins Westminster, 10 watts. I made a box. I put a speaker in it. I went up to Tottenham Court Road into Lasky's or Premium, one of the many electronic component shops who were selling small power modules. he started asking me what I was going to do with it. So I said, I want to make it play a guitar loud. So he said, oh, you be careful, won't you? So I said, why? So I said, well, you can kill some of that. So I said, it was a DC amplifier. So I said, oh, well, if you think of anything that can help me, here's my phone number. Gave me phone number. I hardly got back to the shop. It's him. He said, here, be Jesus, I'd like to work for you. So I said, well, what can you give me? So he said, well, I can make this amplifier for you. Which you could put, we done, which he did. So I stayed at work that night and until I built a prototype. And I made a new Westminster, red on the front, cream band around the middle, and red on the back. Put the handle on the top, put the controls on the top with the celluloid control panel. Sent the first one up to Jimmy Reno, and he came back like a lunatic. That's what I want, he said, and I'll have a dozen. And that was me Watkins Westminster.